You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in. Man, this is wild stuff, bro. And this situation, ongoing situation with Diddy, Diddy's lawyers, and just all the different allegations that have come out against Diddy, it seems like it will never end, man. It seems like it will never end. As every day, it just more and more different reports. It just seemed like, so it seemed like, let me say this first. It seemed like this is all settled down for a while. Everything has settled down. There was no real big stories coming out, except for that Diddy's time had gotten reduced, I guess, doing, the programs inside of the prison. But lately, it's been more stories popping up, man. And you had the legal filing that popped up where Diddy responded to, I can't remember the guy's name now, man. Diddy responded to Jonathan Hay. He responded to Jonathan Hay in a lawsuit saying that all of the things that Jonathan Hay alleged was consensual if it happened, and that, if they held him, it was a citizen's arrest, lawful citizen's arrest, and not kidnapping and things like that, even though he still has a criminal investigation ongoing in the Diddy in Los Angeles with the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. And then, just all of the different things that have been stated within that filing, you understand, where Diddy, basically addressed every allegation that was made against him, I guess, from Jonathan Hay, and basically stated it was all either consensual or it didn't happen the way he said it happened, or basically saying like, oh, that's what he wanted, I guess, in more ways than one. But now you have a situation where it's being reported in allhiphop.com, you guys, that Diddy's lawyers are now arguing that a bear hug and grabbing somebody's backside on a New York City street is not a crime of violence, which this is unbelievable. So, according to the report coming out of allhiphop.com, it says Kirk Burrowes was staying in a Midtown Manhattan welfare hotel in 2013 when he says that Diddy found him on the street, bear hugged him, grabbed his cakes, while one of Diddy's associates stood nearby and threatened his life. Now, Diddy's lawyers just went to federal court to argue that that is not a crime. This is crazy. It says the mogul's attorneys say that the encounter doesn't meet the legal definition of a crime of violence under New York City's Gender Motivated Violence Act, calling it a single chance meeting on a New York City street in broad daylight. Now, Diddy's team says it has nothing to do with gender, meaning his lawyers are using Kirk Burrowes' own words to gut his case. And I quote, although the complaint alleges that Mr. Combs touched the plaintiff's rear, it does not allege that the conduct was undertaken for the purpose of sexual gratification. According to Burrowes, it was about something different. The complaint states that the alleged touching was intended to reinforce Diddy's continued dominance and control over Kirk Burrowes' ability to exist within the music industry and public sphere. That has nothing to do with abusing or degrading Burrowes, and it does not implicate the sexual purpose element of the statute, Diddy's lawyer Jonathan Davis explained. Now, Kirk Burrowes' 2025 lawsuit against Diddy lays out a decade of alleged sexual abuse starting when the two co-founded Bad Boy Entertainment in 1993, with Diddy repeatedly groping him at the office and summoning him via intercom under false pretenses to walk in on Diddy's performing sex acts with employees and interns. And during a 1995 business trip, Kirk Burrowes says that Diddy greeted him at his hotel suite naked and demanded that he watch him pleasure himself. Later that same year, Kirk Burrowes claims that Diddy pinned him down in a Midtown apartment, took his keys so he couldn't leave, simulated intercourse until he squeezed, and allegedly pressured him to perform top and use objects on him in his booty. Then separately in 1996, Diddy allegedly walked into Kirk Burrowes' office with a baseball bat while his attorney arrived with a briefcase full of stock certificates. demanding that Kirk Burrowes sign over his 25% ownership stake and Bad Boy or face violent consequences. He signed it all away and got nothing. Was fired in 1997, and Diddy allegedly blacklisted him across the industry for years, leaving him homeless and bouncing between New York City shelters. A lawsuit he filed over the baseball bat incident in 2003 was thrown out for being time-barred. The 2025 GMV revival window was his way back into court, and now Diddy's team is trying to slam that door shut too. Diddy's brief also fires a footnote at Kirk Burrowes' infamous attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, citing courts that flagged his filings for fabricated legal propositions derived from generative artificial intelligence, a clear attempt to kneecap the opposition before anything goes further. Now, in 50 Cent's Netflix documentary, Sean Combs' The Reckoning, Kirk Burrowes described what he endured as quote-unquote sexually deviant ways, and childhood Diddy friend Tim Dog Patterson backed him up in the documentary, saying Kirk Burrowes was quote-unquote probably the most legitimate, end quote, of anyone with grievances against Diddy. This is Diddy's childhood friend who said this. Kirk Burrowes warned them that Diddy never forgets a grudge, saying that if he sees a snag in a sweater, he'll pull it. And with Diddy currently serving 50 months at the FCI Fort Dix on Mann Act convictions while his criminal appeal crawls through the Second Circuit Court, the sweater's got a lot of loose threads right now. And also, let's talk about that real quick. Still haven't got no response on that. And that's a different video. We're going to talk about that because nobody's been talking about that. We still haven't even got a response on Diddy's appeal. I told you I was going to take a while to get his appeal response back. There's been no response on that. That's normal. That it takes a while to even get those. The fact that Diddy got his expedited, man, that was amazing that he got his appeal expedited like that. But for everybody who was thinking that they were just going to come out and give an answer, that's not how the law works. When you go to those appeal court, it takes them a while to come back with your answer on your appeal. They don't give it to you that day or just the next day. That's not how it works. After you have that judge panel full of, they're going to do a whole write-up and explain why your appeal was approved or denied. So you guys who are still harping on that, we'll talk about that in a whole different video. But this situation right here is crazy. So Diddy's lawyers, they're saying that's not assault? Man, come on, man. If you walk up in the street, let me say this, right? They're saying it's not a crime of violence, I should say. Again. And I'm going to say this again, right? If you walk up to somebody on the street, man or woman, and you grab their cakes, that's assault. I don't give a damn what nobody say. That's assault. Boy, this thing is diabolical out here, man.
Hey guys, Ticket really hopes you enjoyed the content. There will be a link in the description box and pinned at the top of the chat room where you can go to the Ticket TV merch shop and purchase the exclusive merchandise for men and women. Thanks for your support, and he appreciates all sales.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure y'all click those links below. Subscribe to the podcast show. You can donate support to the channel, Cash App, PayPal, or buy that weight loss formula. All the links are below. Peace.